Hi, this is Josh from Shamma Sandals, and today I'm going to be reviewing the REI Flexlite Chair and the REI Flexlite Camp Boss Chair. Okay, so in this review, I'm going to do my best not to be super biased and totally gush over this product, so I'll save that to the end, but I'm going to try and be as even-handed as I can, even though, wink wink, nod nod, I really like these products. They're great, but I'm going to explain why. So my family and I, we just got done with a 4,500 mile trip, car camping, going to national parks, like 4 national parks, and took the kids all over the western United States. And we loaded up our SUV, and we had, you know, our box on top, and we have a big SUV, but still space was a total premium. We have 4 kids, and every last little bit of space mattered. Right before the trip started, my wife said, hey, we really need another chair. Do we have any other chairs? And we have those really cheap standard camping chairs that are about that long and maybe that big around, and you open them up, and when you sit in them, the top will like push your back forward. It's more uncomfortable than just sitting on the hard ground practically. And so we had a bunch of those, and they actually take up quite a bit of space in the car. I go, hey, you know, my mom got me this last year. Last year my mom bought me this for a birthday present, I believe. It might have even been 2 years ago. It just sat in my closet, and it's the REI Flexlite chair, and I just looked at it. I didn't know what to do with it. I thought, well, I certainly am not going to carry this much weight with me if I go backpacking. I would much rather sit on the ground in that case, and those couple pounds are precious, right? And I wouldn't even have room in my pack, wouldn't bring it. So I didn't really have much use for it. I didn't think twice about it. All of a sudden, we're going on a trip and we needed another chair. I thought, sure. We're climbing over the Sierra Nevadas on our way on our trip, and we pulled over to the side of the road to have lunch, just like in the forest in the middle of nowhere. We broke out the coolers, and I thought, you know what? Let's try this chair out. I opened it up, and I kid you not, I thought this is one of the most incredible, comfortable chairs I've ever sat in, and it's tiny. It saves so much space, and I just love it. It's just right off the bat, I loved it. So let me show you right now what it does. Again, this is about 1/3 the size of your standard little fold-out camping chair you're going to get with arms. Anyway, so it comes in this nice little stuff sack, and here it is. You get basically 2 parts. You have the seat, and you have the frame, and this is all you have to do in order to set it up. Just kind of open it up, make sure everything's going into the associated hole. Okay. All right. Oops. There we go. Got the frame assembled. That takes 20-30 seconds, really not hard. Then you've got the actual seat itself, and I'll talk about the construction in a second. I tend to put the REI label up. That's how I know up from down on this thing. There are little nylon webbing loops on each corner, because when you get to the last loop when you're assembling this, it is a little bit tough to stretch the material onto the frame. Let me see. There we go. All right, that's it. You know, it took a minute and a half maybe while I'm explaining it to you, and then you can sit down in it. The best thing about this chair, the absolute best thing, is just the way it's set up, so that when you're sitting in it, you're comfortably reclined. You even have a little bit of room on the material here on the seat for your arms if you'd like them to sit there. And it's just a very comfortable position. A lot of times if you're gonna go camping, you know, one of the great things to do while you're camping is read a book, right? Or sit by the campfire. And, you know, in a lot of, like I was saying, in a lot of chairs, in a lot of those camp chairs, you end up being pushed forward in a really uncomfortable position. They're hard to read in. It's just a nightmare. And you'd be better off with a rock. So, anyways, here's the chair. The construction on this thing is really nice. Everything fits together well. It's very strong. It doesn't feel like it's going to break or anything like that. It's very lightweight and super comfortable. A great chair. So once I found this chair and we were driving along, I figured this out on like the first day of the trip, and then I was seeking out other REIs to find this chair, and I couldn't find them in stock. They were sold out everywhere. And finally, it wasn't until I got to Missoula, Montana, that I found an REI that had this guy right here, the Flexlite Camp Boss chair. It's the same chair as this chair, it's just 20% bigger. And I'll talk about the difference here in a second. So one of the things I want to talk about in this review is the stability of the chair. And the stability is, I think I would break it up in two ways. The first way is, what kind of surface are you going to set the chair on? Now, mind you, there are only 4 of these little feet on the chair, and that could be an issue depending on the surface. Now, the ground I'm on right now is pretty hard enough. I'm not sinking in, and so it's not an issue. So the feet, I'm assuming, as long as you're not putting the chair in, say, sand or some really soft dirt, you know, maybe you set it on some grass where there's gopher holes, you might sink in a little bit. So you want a pretty hard surface. That could be an issue. The other area of stability is going to be the feel of the chair. I will admit, one of the areas where you feel the chair being not super stable is when you kind of rock around. It almost feels a little bit like a rocking chair. It's got a little bit of motion to it if you move around. I weigh 190 pounds, and I feel pretty secure in this thing. It feels like the mesh in the seat is supporting me. I feel a little bit unstable, but I can live with it. It's a tiny chair, and it packs into a tiny little pack, and it's fine. Now, what you really have is the way REI has set this chair up. If you notice, you've got an axis here, which is right in the middle of the chair, and you can kind of pick. I've seen a lot of similar chairs, different brands, and they flip the chair this direction so the seat is in the back, and their stability runs, the wobble goes front to back instead of side to side. And I think it's really a matter of picking which direction you want to design your chair to sway. So they've decided to put the strength to the back and the front, but it's going to wobble a little bit more. All right, that leads me to the Camp Boss. Now, the Camp Boss, the way they advertise this chair is it is just 20% larger than the Flexlite chair, and that's the truth. Watch, I'm going to open this thing up. Same. Well, everything's the same. This one happens to be a different color. Now, I bought this one in Missoula, Montana, because they did not have this smaller chair anymore in stock, and again, you can see it goes together in a second, really easy. Set this thing down. We find the REI logo for up. Put the top pieces in. Grab the loop. Okay, there we go. Super quick, easy assembly, just like the other one. Here's the thing, as you can see, that's the difference, just 20% larger side to side. Now I'm talking about stability, and here's the thing, it's 20% larger, but it's like 50% more stable. It's way more stable than the Flexlite chair. Side to side, even though it's on that same axis point, just because of the bigger frame, I'm not feeling like I'm really gonna rock out of the chair. Front to back, it's great, just like this one. It just feels a lot more secure. So we were in campgrounds all over, the United States, Western United States, and my youngest daughters, I'm holding them. We got a 4-year-old and 8-year-old. We're reading books. We're roasting marshmallows, and this thing is so big, you can definitely hold a kid in your lap, roast a marshmallow, and feel pretty secure. The other thing is, whereas the Flexlite gives you enough room to put your arms in, like this one, you feel like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm really relaxed. I've got a lot of support. And so the comfort level, it's more than 20%. It's another 50% comfort level. Okay, one other thing I want to show you is the breakdown and put away. One of the things I hate most in life is breaking down my tent and putting it back into its bag. And we have this big 10-person tent for my family, and it's the thing I hate the most. It's like wrestling an anaconda or something and trying to force it into a sack that it doesn't want to go into. In any case, I don't feel that way about this thing. I've taken this thing apart a lot of times. It's pretty easy. So just pull, you can pull these little loops. That part's easy. This part, it comes apart very quick. You break down all the pieces, pull them out, pull the legs out, bring them back to the center post here. Super easy, as you would expect. But that's the easy part usually, pulling these little sticks apart with the elastic in it. But this is where it continues to be pretty easy. I usually set it right here in the middle of the seat, and then I might roll it up like this. Watch how pretty fast this is. Maybe I should be a rep for these guys. REI needs another rep. Okay, you get it to about like that. You cover the stakes or the little frame. Stuff it in the sack like this. And this is what I really like. Honestly, this is so important to me. No wrestling. No wrestling. It just goes in super easy. Took me a second to do it, and I'm not dreading it every time I need to put it away. You wouldn't really want to carry it around without the sack. It wouldn't work. But that was it. It went together easy. There's plenty of room, but not too much room. Just well designed. It's really a well built, well designed product. And putting away, it's a cinch. I'll talk about the uses of the chair. To be totally honest with you, I would never carry one of these in my backpack. On a 20, 30 mile hike. I just would not be interested in the extra couple pounds. I can sit on a rock or a log in the middle of nowhere, right? And I'm mostly gonna be hiking or whatever. But I think these are great chairs, just phenomenal chairs if you are car camping, or if you're gonna go to a soccer game, right? Or a baseball, whatever sporting event for your kids. You're just going to the park for the day. These are really comfortable. They don't take up very much space. If you're on a big camping trip, a big road trip, space is a premium in your car. These are awesome. Backpacking, I don't know. Maybe that's your thing and you really like to have everything when you're out there in the wilderness, then they'd be great. It's a great option. But in that case, I really wouldn't look past the Flexlite. And I think now REI even makes a Flexlite Air chair. They shaved a pound off of this. So that would kind of be a good option for you. But yeah, as far as like the use, car camping, sporting events, going to the park, going down to the creek, stuff like that, awesome. Backpacking, not so much. All right, the final thing that I guess I would talk about now is the price. So this chair is $59.99, $60, and I think I like the construction. I don't think this thing is gonna break anytime soon. I like all the sewing work they've done here, the loops. It's a nice quality piece of equipment, and to me, I'd rather have something that's maybe a little more expensive than maybe something you could get on Amazon that's a little cheaper, and it's going to last you longer. And you know, it's all about the experience you have with a product. If you get that use out of it, it's worth a few extra bucks. And so I think this is definitely worth the price. The Camp Boss, 20% bigger, $20 more. So this is 80 bucks. And again, an awesome chair. I like these chairs so much that as I got them on the trip, I would give away our old chairs to people at campsites and my cousin, and I would just pawn them off on everybody else, get them out of my sight. I want to be comfortable and I want to save space in my car. So yeah, they are a little bit on the pricey side, but I think you get a really good product and it's worth the money, especially if 10, 15 years later you're still using the same chair. You've definitely got your money's worth there. So I guess that's it. I really like these chairs. The only thing I can see is a little bit of stability and wiggle here, a lot more stability, and their costs a little more, but you get what you pay for. So if you're going camping in your Shamma sandals this summer, which you should be doing, you might want to pick up a couple of these chairs to make your camping trip or your trip to the park that much better. See you next time when we review some more cool products later. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more weekly content. And make sure to click the bell so that you'll be notified every time we post something new.